We are going to move now to David Crean, who I'm very excited to talk to. I mentioned to him earlier that I felt like he was one of the people who has the finger on the pulse on the West Coast, especially, but the global market too. So, David, could you please introduce yourself?
David Crean, thank you, Christian. And I look forward to seeing everyone at the Bullpen in San Diego. It's my backyard at Bio 2024. I'm an investment banker, M&A specialist, also a venture investor, and it's all within the healthcare and life science sector for the past 3 decades. So great, good question. It's been interesting if you look at what Chris was talking about in terms of the novel by Charles Dickens. It's been The Tale of Two Cities. Daniel mentioned it, but also Chris mentioned it in terms of what's going on in the capital markets. The biotech market has been moving sideways, I would say, in recent weeks, as investors are still trying to figure out, higher for longer, and it's going to take more than a month or two for the direction of the inflation to be sorted out. Good things we're seeing in general. Some generalists and retail come back into the sector in a more meaningful way. If you look at the XBI fund as a proxy for the sector, we are seeing that it's up about nearly 3% year to date. So that's good, especially with the good news of the improved CPI inflation data. And we're seeing the S&P 500, year to date also up. So that's great. But as everyone mentioned, the pipeline or the IPO market has been fairly quiet. And we're seeing, last week itself, it was inactive. I think the last company to go public in the US or Europe debuted about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And I think Rapport revealed its plans to go public last week. And the pipeline is just growing, so there's this continuation of a swell of investors or issuers that anticipate an opening of the market, of the IPO window, hopefully after Memorial Day. But I don't see a broad opening up, and this is kind of my crystal ball until 2025. I would agree with Daniel about the 8 to 12 IPOs between now and the rest of in our sector for the rest of the year. But I would see 2025 is going to be just a very productive year, as Daniel had mentioned. So that's a little bit of my crystal ball, Chris. But thank you very much for asking.
Well, David, you don't get to get out so quickly. I would love for you to give us an ask. What's our assignment? You have so many things going on. How can we bring resources to one of the things you're doing?
Well, thank you. My ask comes in the form of a two-way street. As everybody knows me, I give back a great deal to the ecosystem. If you know of a company, CEO or board of directors that's looking to explore growth or exit options, have them contact me. I know that I can help them out. On the flip side, I'm here for you and the ecosystem. Look, Christian, you always say, help, rinse, repeat. I'm saying the same damn thing. Let me know how I can help you, whether it's introductions, connections, suggestions, or recommendations. Thanks again.
David, thank you for bringing that up. Our mission is to help people. It's find someone to help. Repeat. David is a living example of that.